Subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another video of Bhakti Charu Swami.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Srimad Shri Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila Chapter 9 Text 151 Talks between the Lord and Ramananda Rai. Text 51 Krishner Ananta Shakti Tate Tin Pradhan Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti Nam. Krishna has unlimited potencies which can be divided into three main parts. These are the spiritual potency, the material potency, and the marginal potency, which is known as the living entities. Krishna has Ananta Shakti. Ananta Shakti means unlimited. Krishna's potency is unlimited. Krishna is omnipotent. Omni means complete, full, all powerful. So all the potencies are Krishna's potency. All the power is Krishna's power. But they have been classified into three categories. It's very important to understand that. One is Chit Shakti. Chit means spiritual, Chit means conscious. And spiritual, Srila Prabhupada translates Chit Shakti as spiritual potency. The spiritual potency is conscious potency. Chit, the word Chit means conscious. Chetan, from Chit comes the word Chetan. Chetna means consciousness. So one is conscious potency. The spiritual world is all conscious. Whereas in the material nature, everything is unconscious, inert. Matter is inert. Does matter have consciousness? No, matter doesn't have consciousness. But wherever there is consciousness, we have to understand that is coming from the Chit Shakti, spiritual potency. And what is the spiritual potency that makes the body conscious? The spirit soul. Spirit soul is spiritual. Spirit soul is conscious. And the spirit soul makes this body conscious. As long as the body is conscious, we call it living. Living entity. The body is made of matter, but it is alive. Now what makes this body made of matter alive? Soul. So there are two potencies. One is spiritual potency and the other is material potency. Chit Shakti and Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti. Material energy. And there's a third one. It says that there are three types of potencies. And what is the third one? Third one is called Jiva Shakti, living entities, which is marginal. Margin. What is margin? In your notebook, did you write the margin? Margin means the line that is dividing. In Sanskrit, it is called Tatastha Shakti. Thought means the line that divides the river from the land. Tato Rekha. Rekha means line. Thought is a line. And that line is, this side is water, that side is land. Similarly, this Tattva Shakti, this side is material nature, and that side is spiritual nature. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. And being in the middle, it can either go in this side or go in that side. That liberty, that prerogative, the living entities have. They have that freedom. Whether to be in the material nature or be in the spiritual nature. Whether to be in Krishna's spiritual potency or material nature. That freedom these living entities have. So which means that although we are now where we are we in the spiritual world or material world? Material world. But if we want, we can go back to spiritual world. It's up to us. And what is the qualification needed to go back to spiritual world? A very simple qualification. What's the qualification to go back to spiritual world, Suman? What is the qualification to go to spiritual world? Where are we now? In the material nature. Huh? Yes, surrender. That's about the only thing that is needed. Therefore, Krishna very emphatically is saying, Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Mamekam means only to me. Mam Ekam, only to me. Sharanam means surrender. Just surrender unto me. If you surrender unto Krishna, then you go back to spiritual world. So is it very difficult to go back to spiritual world? Raghav? No? Tell me what we have to do then. Very good. How to surrender? Very good. Very good. So, what does that mean, raising your both hands? I'm not going to make any endeavor. When it's like this, then so many things. Hand is doing so many things. But when it's like this, Krishna, you do whatever you want to do with me. That's the meaning of surrender. I am not going to decide for myself. Only thing I'll decide is that I will surrender unto you. And when we do that, then what happens? Then Krishna takes care of us. And when Krishna takes care of us, then where you are? We are in the spiritual world. So it's as simple as that to go back to spiritual world. Why? Because we came from spiritual world to begin with. We came from the spiritual world. In that respect, Prabhupada is giving an example, a fish out of water. When a fish is out of water, how does the fish feel? Fish is writhing with pain, jumping, struggling. But as soon as you take the fish into water, then what happens? Happy. So our situation is like that. In the material nature, we are suffering so much, so much. But as soon as we go into the spiritual world, everything becomes so easy. Everything becomes so wonderful. Like the fish. Have you seen a fish when it's taken back to water? In no time, it just disappeared in water. And there he is so happy. So that is what we have to understand. Now the problem is, when we are in the material nature, Krishna's illusory potency works on us. Illusory. That energy, although we are suffering, doesn't make us feel that we are suffering. That is the illusory energy. Although we are suffering, this energy is making us think, you can enjoy. That is the Maya Shakti, illusory potency. You can enjoy in this material nature. But nobody is satisfied. In this material nature, is everyone fully satisfied? No matter how rich he may be, he is not satisfied. When he was poor, he was thinking that if I got a lot of money, I'll be so happy. And then we got the money, did he become happy? Let's go and ask him. None of them will say that they are happy. But when one surrenders unto Krishna, then what happens? How many of you surrender unto Krishna? Krishna Balaram? Second, just raise a little bit. So, now, once again, how many of you surrendered to Krishna? And are you happy? Let's ask who is closest to me here. Jagannath Charan. Are you happy?
Yes.
Very good. Is there anyone who is unhappy in Krishna consciousness? If you're unhappy, that means you're not being Krishna conscious. In being in Krishna consciousness, if you're not happy, that means you're not Krishna conscious. Because Krishna conscious makes one naturally happy. The fish back in water, is it happy?
Yes.
A spirit soul back in the spiritual world, is he happy?
Yes.
So that's how simple it is. We have to just recognize our situation, and then we will automatically become happy. So that is what Chaitanya Charitamrita is teaching us. Every single shlok is giving us so many important instructions. Do people have information? Do the people outside world know? First of all, do they know that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead? No. They may believe in God, but they do not know who God is. So that means they don't know. So who God is? Who God is? Thea, who is God? Krishna. Thank you. So Krishna, now God is, does God have energy, potency? How much potency does he have?
Is omnipotent.
Omnipotent. Very good. Omnipotent means?
Full, complete.
Very good. All. Omni means all. All potency is his potency. And here we are getting, he has many, God is omnipotent, but how many different kinds of energy does he have? Hemagopi? Many.
Mainly three.
Maybe three.
No, mainly three.
Okay. I'm sorry. You're so far away, I couldn't hear you. He has potencies are divided into three categories. Aishwarya, what are those three categories?
The spiritual potency, the material potency, and
Marginal potency. Margin means in between. Margin means can be either there or here. Either in the spiritual world or in the material nature. So jivas have this prerogative. So these are the three potencies of Krishna. Besides that, all potencies are falling in these three categories. Jiva potencies have, some jiva potencies are here, some jivas are there in the spiritual world. Those who are there, They are spiritually situated. Spiritually situated means they're perfectly connected to Krishna. And being perfectly connected to Krishna, they're immortal, they're full of knowledge, and they're full of joy, full of bliss. And some are here. And those who are here, what happened to them? Do they have the spiritual potencies, Raghav? No? So over there, spiritual qualities are what?
Full of knowledge, full of joy, and
Full of knowledge, full of joy, and immortal. And in the material nature, how are they?
completely opposite.
Okay, very good. How can you describe the opposite?
Completely miserable,
Okay.
ignorant, and prone to birth and death.
And, yeah, and subjected to die. There everything is immortal, here everyone is mortal. There everyone is full of knowledge, here everyone is devoid of knowledge. There everyone is full of joy, here everyone is full of misery. So, do you want to stay here or you want to go there? Naturally, when one becomes situated this knowledge, he would like to go back to the spiritual world. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Does anybody have any question? Yes?
And you mentioned about surrender, and you said when we just totally depend on Krishna, that's surrender. But sometimes he requires us to do something specific and practical.
Yeah.
Leave it to Krishna. Seems like
Yeah, right. I mean, when we're in the material nature, then you have to surrender, hands up. When you're in spiritual world, then all the hands, all the legs, all the feet, everything is engaged in Krishna's service. Right? Here, material activities, no. Spiritual activities, yes. Right? Material activities we know, no more. But when you surrender, then yes, Krishna, I am going to serve you all the time. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Gaur Premanande.